Solubility is how much a solute can dissolve in a solvent. For instance, a cup of coffee in the morning, pour a cup of sugar in, stir it in, disappears, gone, dissolves. And you can keep adding sugar to it, gets sweeter and sweeter, but only to a certain point. Once you reach saturation, the sugar will no longer dissolve and it'll kind of settle down to the bottom. In this lab, we're going to test solubility of potassium nitrate and make some measurements at different temperatures. Let's get started. All right, what you're gonna need for this lab is a rack of test tubes, 4 test tubes, and if you can, label them, A, B, C, D, or 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever you want. But you need to keep them separate because they're gonna have different amount of substance in each one. So have them each labeled correctly. Going to need, 10 milliliter graduated cylinders, nice, pretty accurate, get one of those. And some potassium nitrate. There'll be a little portion around for each group to measure with. When you measure it, you're going to use these little pans to measure the potassium nitrate. Now we're going to measure in grams for each of these test tubes. So first, weigh the empty pan so that when you put the potassium nitrate on the pan and weigh it, you can subtract the pan itself. The difference will be the actual amount of potassium nitrate. It'll also help to have a little scooper to scoop the potassium nitrate into here. Of course, triple beam balance is always to weigh the mass of the potassium nitrate. And then, last thing is a little tape, because we're going to do the dissolving tomorrow. We don't have enough time today, and we don't want the water to dissolve in this dry air. Here we go. Easy way to start is to get the 10 milliliter graduated cylinder, put 10 milliliters of water in here, get a good accurate number, and pour 10 milliliters into each of the 4 test tubes. Make sure you label them beforehand, A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever you like, and have them all set and ready to go. Next, we got to weigh the potassium nitrate. First step, weigh the pan, get the empty weight of the pan. Might be between 2 and 3 grams. Write that down someplace. Then you're going to put 11 grams of potassium nitrate in the pan and put it into the last test tube, test tube D. Take 8 grams of potassium nitrate, put that in test tube C. Take 6 grams of potassium nitrate, put that into test tube B. And last, in test tube A, we'll get 4 grams of potassium nitrate. Good accurate measurements. Make sure you subtract the weight of the pan from the total on your triple beam balance. Then take the masking tape and put that across each test tube so we don't have any evaporation. We'll start the lab the next day. Take the chart that you have in the lab and check out the solubility chart for KNO3. Notice how it goes up with temperature rising. You're going to decide or calculate where, at what temperatures, the 11, 8, 6, and 4 grams of potassium nitrate are going to dissolve. It says here grams of solute for 100 grams. Well, we're only using 10. So we can divide this number by 10 to find out the 4 temperatures that should dissolve the 11, 8, 6, and 4 grams of KNO3 or potassium nitrate. So just find those 4 locations and enter them into the Google Doc for this lab. Tomorrow we'll do the actual lab.